The Chiefs say no Rice, no Royals, no problem. Let's talk about that. Woo-hoo-hoo! It is the first week of the NFL season officially, Michael.
Yeah.
Officially. It's the first week. This is great. Football's back. We made it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys being here. Do your boys a favor. You know the drill. Hit the like button. Helps get more people in here. Get in the comments. Tell us what you're thinking about everything. Mike, let's talk about what the Chiefs are planning on doing since they're going to be riceless and royalists in week one.
Yeah, it looks like Hollywood's going to be ready to go. Andy said that today. Hollywood looks like he's going to be ready to go. They're going to use him probably a lot. I'd say Juju's next man up, and it's going to be a Xavier Worthy show. I think that's going to be the three you're going to see the most on the field. But I do think Tyquan Thornton's going to have a lot of playing time out there. I really do. I think Tyquan Thornton's going to get out there, and I think Jason Brownlee will be out there as well. Are they going to call him up, make the roster, all that good stuff? He's on, obviously, but are they going to let him play? Are they going to let him get in there and get his feet wet early? And I think they will. They showed throughout the preseason that they were not scared to mix him in with the first team. So I think you'll see a decent amount of Brownlee. I think it's going to be a nice little 5-6 wide receiver rotation.
Right. Just from kind of the vibe you get when you heard the coach talking about it today, they just are going to kind of rely on the guys they already have, right? They're going with that vet stuff. They're going with Juju's been around. You got Hollywood Brown's going to be available. They're going with the older guys, right? But I think it's still going to be the Xavier Worthy show for the most part. And you can't forget about a little guy named Travis Kelce. He's not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. So I think they'll find a way to mix the ball around a little bit, get that offense spread out. And you're right about Tyquan Thornton, man. He has a massive opportunity early in this season to get out there. If he creates some separation like he was in the preseason, and Mahomes were to be able to land a few of those, that could kind of change the dynamic of the entire offense going forward for the whole season, because all of a sudden all these defensive coordinators are like, shit, we got a big problem here, because Xavier Worthy runs a 4-2, Tyquan Thornton runs a 4-2, and Mahomes don't care to sling it to him. What are we going to do?
Right. You see Xavier Worthy, he hit a deep, 54-yard touchdown from Mahomes last year versus the Chargers. Kelce always eats versus the Chargers. That's just a thing. So I expect it to be a lot of Kelce. I think Kelce wants to get off to a very good start this week as well. Week one, he doesn't want to be putting that whole, Kelce's old, blah, blah, blah. And I just think he'll come out week one firing. I think him and Mahomes, they're back to looking more normal, or so it seemed this offseason. I think the offense is going to run through Kelce and Worthy, but I do think Hollywood Brown, hopefully, maybe this will be a way for him to get back in the good graces of Chiefs Kingdom and maybe start to get some trust developed from the fans. Maybe he can put together a few really good weeks here of football and get it going, So maybe the Rice thing is it's a blessing in disguise for one Hollywood Brown.
It needs to be. He has a lot to prove, man. He came in here big swinging. Everybody thought he was going to be so amazing, and we didn't get to see him until the end of the season. And then he wasn't really a game changer throughout the playoffs at all. So I think a lot of people were expecting more from him the first season. Then they turned around and opted to re-sign him for a year as opposed to D-Hop or whoever else they could have got. And I think people are just fed up with him being on the sideline, especially after the little ankle tweak during camp and the preseason stuff like that. It's like, dude, you got to get out here. You got to do something. This is his opportunity to do that as well. So I think there's a lot of guys that should be chomping at the bit to get out there and make themselves known while they have the opportunity, with Rashee Rice being suspended, Mike, and Jalen Royals not being a guy that can take any snaps from him now because he's out. I think they have their chances here, and I think they need to cash in.
Yeah, I think the offense is going to look pretty good. Now, look, if it goes back into this no taking shots, dump down, the left side of the line collapses within a second. If we get back into that before the first or second quarter's over, I think Chiefs Kingdom will collectively just yell. It'll look worse than those people on the streets yelling, after the political decisions made in this country. They'll be like, yeah, you'll see all that, dude. I think Chiefs Kingdom will lose their minds if you see that happen. Nagy will just be, I don't even know if they'll let him on the flight home. They just might keep him in Brazil if that happens. So, because he's always the guy to blame, right? So
just stay there, buddy.
I think it's going to be I think we're going to see some stuff from the Chiefs. I think Andy and Patrick, everybody, I think the entire team is tired of hearing this.
They
At some
have to be,
point,
dude.
you get so tired of being disrespected by everybody. They can play it cool, but it just feels like they want to come out and prove people wrong this year.
If you as a fan feel that way, they have to feel like that, right? If they have any freaking dignity at all, they have to feel that way
Man,
somewhat.
we said that all last year, though. And every game, they come out and just half-ass it.
Well, you think that could have been a wake-up call to get their ass beat as bad as they did in the Super Bowl? They got embarrassed in front of all their friends, brother.
Hopefully
Think?
that's a wake-up call.
It could be. We'll have to wait and see. Shout out our boy Kyle with 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. That's the way to start it out, buddy.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Look at that.
Sharing the gift of all chiefed upness. I like it.
Going hard on a Sunday evening. Is it
Let's
Sunday
go, baby.
evening, Sunday night? I guess it would be Sunday night.
I'm sure a lot of these people are like, it's too late for a live stream on a Sunday night. I have to be up at the crack of dawn at the rooster's crow, whatever it's called. I don't know.
The crawl of a rooster. At the cock's crowing in
The cock's crow. That's what it was. Got all my cock crawl crow mixed up. You know, it happens.
Appreciate the 5 there,
Yeah,
buddy.
2 bomb from KT says we beat them without those players last year. I mean, that's the thing about it. I think this roster is far more intriguing and far more talented than we even had last season. So even with Jalen Royals not being able to get out there yet as a rookie, and with Rashee Rice getting suspended, which we all saw coming, we knew it was happening. We just didn't know how many games, right? Still think it should have been 4. 4 makes the most sense, but whatever. He's out 6. I don't think it's that big of a thing, man, because they went all last year without these dudes. And now you actually have more because Hollywood Brown is going to be ready to play. We didn't have him last year amidst all of the Rashee Rice knee problems and everything else. They had to go out and try to sign D-Hop real quick and hope he could fit in. So I think they should be a lot more prepared this season. I think the offense should have to deal with less adversity, hopefully. And maybe they can get this ball rolling quick and it be a lot more efficient and smooth throughout the season as opposed to last year where it just felt like we were recreating the entire offense over and over again. Like, I don't think we should have to deal with that this year.
Right. Well, I mean, come on. I think if you look at the Chargers, speaking of, just last year, they've changed a little bit since last year. Most notably, they don't have Bosa rushing the passer. Their edge rushers are Khalil Mack, Tuli Tuipulotu. That's going to be their 2 starters. Of course, on the bench, they're going to have Bud Dupree, Caleb Murphy, Kyle Kennard, who they drafted out of South Carolina. So I don't think their edge rushers are as good, in my opinion. I don't think you can take Bosa off that with Mack and replace it with Tuipulotu and it be that much better that immediately. So I don't think they're better in the edge rusher category. Their interior defensive line, I don't think is all that great either. Deshaun Tan, Tyre Hart, and Otito Ogbondio. I don't even know who the crap that guy is. Naquan Jones. No, I'm just playing. Ogbondio. So, look, safety, Derwin James still out there, and Alohi Gilman still out there, and then Tarheeb still, and Dante Jackson. That's going to be their corners probably. That's probably going to be their starters projected. I think they got Cam Hart as well. They got Benjamin St. Juste, Jasir Taylor, and Nico Reed. Those are going to be just limited roles, nickel, dime situations. So, Steve, I don't feel like Tarheeb still, Dante Jackson should be able to lock down Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown, in my opinion. And we know that Derwin James he's a great athlete, but he tends to always struggle with Kelsey a little bit, right?
He does. He likes to powerbomb him because he's frustrated because he's always
Right.
getting beat by him, right? I'm not too worried about it. I do think that this team overall will be a little bit better than the Chargers team you saw last year. It'll be their second year with Harbaugh. We're used to seeing him with Brendan Staley, and he's probably one of the worst coaches I've ever seen. Let's be honest here. He's like just a shade above Todd Haley. But this dude is a little bit different, right? Harbaugh's a little more hard-nosed. He's more defense-oriented. He's more run-the-football-oriented. So I think this team will look a little bit different than what you're used to with the Chargers. I think they'll be a little bit better, but I still think the Chiefs are a much better team than they are. So as long as the Chiefs go out and execute whatever game plan Andy decides to come up with, I think they'll be just fine. Now, as far as the defense goes, man, you're looking at an offense. Like you said, Justin Herbert, he always plays good against the Chiefs usually, for the most part. But we have the anti-Justin Herbert, baby. We got Mike Dana. He always shows up in these Chargers games. And I expect to see him in the backfield a little bit. They do have Rashawn Slater out for the season, so that was a big blow to their offensive line. So maybe with our improved pass rush as far as adding Ashton Gelati, Omar Norman Lott, maybe Charles Omenihu can get back at it. Mike Dan always has a big game against him. And then, of course, Chris Jones, Karloftis over there. Maybe we can just make his day living hell, right? As long as we can kind of contain that run game, because I'm pretty sure they're going to come out and just hand it off to Najee Harris a few times. Just as long as we make sure that they're not chunking off 8 to 10 yards every time they carry the football, they'll have to get into the passing game, and that's where he's just going to have to kind of rely on Ladd McConkey, right? And I don't think McDuffie is going to let that happen.
Right. So you mentioned Rashawn Slater is out for the season. They're going to slide Joe Alt over to left tackle. Trey Pipkins will probably do the right side, and then they traded for Austin Deculus from the Texans. He's kind of their swing guy. Their interiors: Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Mekhi Becton. I mean, they're a solid interior. I do think that, like you said, Harbaugh's going to come out and run. He's going to run behind Omarion Hampton, who was their was he their first-round pick?
Of course he was, yeah.
I think he was. So their first-round pick, of course, Najee Harris was just put on to the active roster because of that whole firework incident. He can finally see now, have both eyes. So I think they're going to try to pound the rock. They're going to try to play that, I guess we'll call it like AFC South style bully ball. They want to do that. They want to control the clock. And then I do think, like you said, Herbert is not a horrible quarterback. They think that Ladd McConkey is a clear-cut number 1 wide receiver in this league, and Quentin Johnston has come on. He will find himself this year. Of course, they re-signed back Keenan Allen. They drafted Trey Harris. They drafted Keandre Lambert-Smith out of Auburn. Lambert-Smith's pretty decent, pretty good size, pretty good speed there. So I think they got a lot in the receiving core. Trey Harris is a big physically imposing guy. So I think that may be where the game's won or lost is, can we stop the run? Again, this is going to be a big test for Derek Nottie right off the bat, especially not having our boy Mike Pinnell back. So you're going to have our defensive line trying to stop their run. Those linebackers are going to have to do a very good job. Nick Bolton's going to have to come to play week 1. And our defense on the back end, our safeties cannot get beat deep by Trey Harris, Quentin Johnston. You can't let Keandre Lambert-Smith beat you deep. You're going to have to keep everything in front of you. You're going to have to tackle well. And I think you're going to have to see a big day. I'm not worried about Trent McDuffie. We'll talk about more about him in a minute, per se, the contract. That's probably what we're going to talk about more because that news just broke. But the entire Quentin Johnston versus, say, Jalen Watson matchup, to me, that's a very intriguing matchup. Can he prevent Johnston from having a coming out party, or is Johnston going to get the best of him? We seen when he come back off that injury last year in the Super Bowl, I want to say he got beat 2 or 3 times in that game, right? The first half.
He did. But here's the thing. I think Quentin Johnson, his brick hands might stop him from having a breakout party.
He's looked a lot better this year in the preseason, though. I'll give him credit for that.
But they do have a pretty decent wide receiver core. But here's the thing about it. As far as the run game goes, like you said, Harbaugh's going to want to run the game. He's going to want to impose that will on our defense early and often. But if the offense can get out and rolling and get a good lead early on, they can't really go that route, can they? You can kind of limit them if you jump out to a pretty good lead early.
If the Chiefs come out stagnant on offense, they allow these teams to be able to do that. That's what they allow by doing that.
They do. Shout out Zachary Freedom with a 2-bomb. Thanks for the support, brother.
Appreciate you.
And then we got the old man in the house getting that trainer rolling. What's up, Pops? Get the 5 gifted from Pops here. Appreciate you guys. Once that train gets done, tooting, baby. Toot.
This is tooting right out of the gate.
You guys put some legendaries in the chat for Kyle and Pops for gifting out memberships. If you got any of those, make sure to thank them in the chat. And appreciate the other guys donating. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, man. So it's going to be a good game, and we'll talk a lot more about that this Thursday on our live stream because it's kind of the pregame live stream will be Thursday night. So we'll jump into more matchups and what we're looking for and what we think is going to go down. But right now, Mike, you just mentioned some other news that just kind of broke about 2 hours ago. And to me, it wasn't really much news per se because I wasn't expecting it to get done anyway. But they came out and said that the contract negotiations for an extension for Trent McDuffie, all the talks had stalled. That between Trent McDuffie's camp and Brett Veach and crew, it just kind of stopped. They're not going to get anything done before the season starts. I really wasn't expecting them to. I kind of thought when they extended George Karlaftis and they took care of Trey Smith. Of course, they previously took care of Nick Bolton and then Creed Humphrey before that. I kind of figured they're already on that fifth-year option. We have Trent McDuffie under contract until the end of next season. There's plenty of time for that to play out, right? So I wasn't expecting it before the season anyway.
Yeah, we kind of thought that it would be a thing where they're just going to let it ride out. I think, a lot of people are very convinced that Brett Veach is going to make Trent McDuffie a second, big contract guy here. And then you've got the other side that think it's a corner. Maybe they won't go that route. They don't tend to do that very often, right? So you've got both sides, and both sides have logical arguments. We've seen it happen, and we've seen it happen both ways. It does tend to be more the side that Brett Veach doesn't want to pay them. But I think Trent McDuffie is a little different. But what they can do with McDuffie is not jump the gun. I think you don't have to jump the gun and pay the Derek Stingley money. Let his contract tend to play out. That way, if he was to have some kind of a weird injury or he just starts to not look the same, or this happens with corners all the time. Sometimes corners can just get beat, their confidence go out the window. Before you know it, you've got a horrible situation on your hands. So I think Brett's just kind of being smart, letting it play out for the team. He didn't think it was such a rush to go give a $100+ million contract to a corner who they don't love to pay in the first place. So I think maybe it's all just a little bit of a game, and Brett Veach is kind of just slowballing it, right?
Right. A lot of people are afraid that all these new contracts come up and it's going to keep pushing the market higher and higher, and then they should get them now so it'd be cheaper. But, I mean, honestly, you're going to pay out the butt for McDuffie either way. Unless you can get something fair from both sides, which I think you can with somebody like McDuffie. But, I mean, you saw Deron Bland just sign with the Cowboys. The Cowboys themselves are just freaking comedians, aren't they? They refuse to pay Micah Parsons, and they turn around and pay Deron Bland almost $100 million contract, brother. So it's hilarious the way they operate. But that's another corner getting paid big money, and that's going to continue to happen. But I'm with you. I don't think they have to rush to do it. It just doesn't make any sense. You literally just had to dish out two huge contracts. You got George Karlaftis after his next season is actually going to kick into that new contract, which that was great by Brett Veach getting it done that way. But I think you have plenty of time to get the McDuffie thing done. So I'm with you. I think you let it play out till the very end. And then I also do think that he's different than previous corners, because we didn't want to pay L'Jarius Sneed. We didn't want to pay Tarvarius Ward. But those are guys we got in the fourth round, and we got as a UDFA. We traded up, put actual draft stock into Trent McDuffie, and took him in the first round. So I think it's a little bit different with this one. And also, Trent McDuffie's a little bit different, if you ask me. He's a higher caliber player than the other two. And he actually, to me, seems like a guy that's going to have more longevity than these other guys. I feel like L'Jarius Sneed, as great as he was 2 seasons ago, it was kind of a flash in the pan for him, right? He's had all kinds of injuries. He's terrible at getting penalties. He's terrible at missing tackles. I just think that we got the best out of him, and that's it. So why pay him any further? So I think Trent McDuffie's a guy that's going to continue to get better and better.
Yeah, I agree with that. You see a lot of teams pay corners. Dallas, you mentioned them. They'll pay corners in Dallas all the time. Does it ever make their defense any better? Do they ever win playoff games? No. You've seen the Rams go out and pay big money for Jalen Ramsey. You've seen the Dolphins do the same thing with Jalen Ramsey. You've seen several teams go out and pay big money for these big corners. And, I mean, Tennessee paid big money for L'Jarius Sneed. What's he done? Not a lot.
He got hurt.
It's very look, the Chiefs are really bad about this too. Every time the Chiefs have ever paid anybody the offseason, you're seeing it with Hollywood Brown to a certain degree. Every time we go out and invest money in big time free agents, they always tend to never live up to the contract. Ever. So I do think that's a little different here with Trent McDuffie. He's developed in-house. He's comfortable in the SPAG system. We like what he could do. It would not surprise me if they did re-sign him. I just think that Brett Veach has a lot on his plate this year. They're ready to focus on this year's team. They're not worried about 2 years down the road.
Agreed. So I think that's all we really have to talk about with the McDuffie thing. Let's be quite honest.
I think it's pretty cut and dry. And it could happen before week 1, just like you seen with Noah Gray last week. Or last year, not last week. But remember, he signed like the day of week 1 game versus the Ravens last year. So it could happen at any time. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, for sure. You guys let us know in the chat what you guys think about the entire extension with Trent McDuffie kind of drama. Not really much drama, but that's the only news that's kind of came out. Just came out a couple of hours ago. So you guys let us know what you think about it. And we got Dog Petter here with the 2 bomb. Says Thornton will be wide receiver 3 by the end of the season. About 650 yards. What do you think, Mike?
650. Well, I mean, when Rice comes back, he's going to slide into wide receiver 1. And, I mean, so who you're saying he's going to be a better option than Hollywood? I mean, it's not hard to imagine Hollywood missing a lot of games because I still think Xavier Worthy's number 2 and will be. So, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I don't know how many. I'm not ready to predict entire seasons for these guys. Like, I don't know. But I think Tyquan Thornton could have a good season. He could have a good season. He could also have a really underwhelming season, as much hype as we've put on him. We've done this before in Chiefs Kingdom. We've hyped up a lot of people that's never panned out.
I do think that Tyquan Thornton has a skill set, and it looks like to me that he has the chemistry with Patrick Mahomes that was missing from a lot of guys that we thought were going to have a good season with Mahomes. So I do have high hopes for Tyquan Thornton. I actually think he can be a difference maker for this team, and he could kind of revamp his career and get it off its feet because this guy was a second-round draft pick, and he's never really done squat. But then again, he was picked by the Patriots and had to play with Mac Jones. So
hopefully he plays the MVS role the way we thought MVS should have played that role, which is basically get open and then catch the ball once you do.
Yeah,
which was tough for MVS to do a lot of times.
The Mitch Holtis is in here. I won't accept any other answers for that. It's the Mitch Holtis is here. Says, love the show, guys. Oh, yeah. Chiefs Kingdom is in full effect tonight. Brazil, here we go. Let's go. There's a legend amongst us.
Legends amongst
Legendary.
us.
Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for Mitch. Let's go, baby. Yeah, man, I'm excited for this season to kick off, dude. It's just so fun. I did some fantasy football drafts right before we went live, and it's just weird. Football season's here, man, and it's exciting. Super excited for this Chiefs team, dude. For real, I am. I think there's so much depth on the offensive side of the football, so many options when it comes to the receivers and playmakers for Patrick Mahomes that he's never had before.
Right.
And you got Patrick Mahomes with all these playmakers, and the most important thing we haven't even freaking mentioned tonight, Mike. He has a left tackle. He has a left tackle, dude. Josh Simmons is there, baby, and he's looking legit. He's going to get his first good test in week 1. Like you said, Khalil Mack is no pushover, so we're going to find out what he can do. But he actually had talked about that and said, the best, he's got some jitters. He's got some nervousness going on for his first game, but he said the best way to counteract that is to get prepared. Right. So that's what he has himself focused on. Hopefully he'll come out and just do a bang up job right off the rip, and maybe he can continue to grow. And Patrick Mahomes with an offensive line that can protect him and with all these weapons, with a healthy Isaiah Pacheco in the backfield, that's a little bit different situation than we're used to seeing.
Right. We got Zachary here with a bomb.
Let's go, baby.
20 bomb. He says, fam, check out this Chiefs banger that dropped today. Red Rains tonight, anywhere you stream music.
All right, man. Do you have anything to do with it? I want to know.
I'm guessing so.
I'm going to go check it out. Is it your song? We'll have to check it out, my man. Appreciate the 20 bomb, by the way. Thanks for the support.
Appreciate you, man.
Y'all go check out that song for Zach.
Red Rains tonight. Maybe it's the anthem of the season. You never know.
Could be. Anything's better than that guy that does the country stuff that makes up songs for the Chiefs.
You dislike that guy, huh?
I don't dislike him. I think he's a cool guy.
I don't mean the guy. I'm just saying like you dislike the music.
I feel like some of it comes off a little cringy, a little cheesy.
A little cornball.
He just like throws together whatever he can throw together in 2 seconds to put on social media and get everybody horned up, I'm okay with that too, if that's what you want to do. But I do think that some of the little country stuff comes off a little cheesy.
Let's take this long question from Tim, but it's a Facebook user, so I like to see it. Tim says, I have a question. Why are the Chiefs not putting run defense above having a backup linebacker who hardly ever use, who wouldn't Big Mike be more important to the team rather than having a linebacker? Okay, I'm assuming. So he's talking about Big Mike the whole way. We could use Bossa, blah, 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 to stop the run. So he's basically saying there in that giant message that why did they take a Coop McDonald or, the 6th, 5th linebackers? Why are you taking those over Pennell? Why didn't you take a 5th interior lineman? And I'll say it pretty easily. Derek Nottie and Pennell do the same thing. They chose to go with Pennell out the door, and they chose to go with Derek Nottie. He gave up more draft capital to go get him. That wasn't a lot, but he did. They're comfortable with it, and I think that they just see the guys in the linebacker room. Those guys are going to play a lot of special teams work. They're making that room younger. Drew Tranquil ain't going to be here forever. That's not going to happen. So they're trying to find what they can get there, and they're going to do a lot of special teams work. Mike Pinnell's not going to play a lot of special teams besides being maybe on like a field goal block or something like that, whatever he does. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the
I'm
short
with Brett
answer.
Veach, bro. I'm with Brett Veach. I think it all is all about the youth there when it comes to that. I mean, Derek Nottie, a little bit younger than Mike Pinnell. He's going to be able to give you more snaps than Mike Pinnell. Mike Pinnell's kind of that guy that you want to bring in at the end of the season and get some good snaps out of him in critical games, maybe even the playoffs. But him going all season long at 34 years old in there in the trenches, I mean, the chances of injury are high. You're not going to give him a whole lot of snaps anyway. Let's be honest here. So I think they just chose to go with Derek Nottie there. Was I a fan of them going back and like kind of, they didn't really lose draft capital. I mean, barely. They swapped the pick. They swapped with Sky Moore, but
Yeah.
I still wasn't a fan of it. Like, I hate that 2 years in a row they allowed the Jets to sign someone that we let go and then just try to trade for him back when, honestly, I don't think he was going to make the team anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to either. I think Nottie was going to get cut, but they didn't want to have to go through that whole, like, I guess, like, battle with other teams. I don't know how many people have been knocking down the door to get to Derek Nottie, but it is what it is. I mean, I guess you trust Brett Veach. I think it's a big loss. I like Pinnell, but at the same time, again, do you keep a guy on the roster that's just going to run, 15 crucial snaps a game? I don't know. I think they much would prefer having some linebacker depth and some special teams capability. And then Spags, I wouldn't put it past Spags either. And he said this. He said that he may adjust some things this year based on our personnel. He's talked about this just a few weeks ago. It was right before cutdown day. So it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't come up with some different twists and turns that we haven't seen with the defense this year maybe. And it won't, maybe he'll try to stop the run using a few different pieces. Maybe he'll go to more linebackers on the field at one time or who knows what he'll try. Like, Spags is pretty wild with this stuff.
Yeah, man. I don't see it happening in a dramatic fashion. Like Melissa or Bucky, whoever it is in the chat said, what are the odds we switch to a 3-4 like he did in New York? I mean, I don't know. I don't see it happening. I feel like it's a huge change for him, but he did do it in New York, and he does have kind of the personnel for that if he wanted to do that.
Well, maybe that's a wrinkle that you could see a few times a game in certain situations.
That's what I'm thinking. It's something that
I
don't think he would go base 3-4, but I do think that he might throw that look at people. Spags likes to do anything to confuse an offense. I mean, he'll do anything to confuse an offense, so I wouldn't put it past that, but I don't see him just changing the entire base of the defense. But, yeah, man, I think if they wanted to do that, we definitely have the personnel for it, though.
Yeah. Coop gives you a lot of versatility at linebacker. Jeffrey Bossa definitely gives you a lot of versatility at linebacker. Cochran, I'm assuming, I mean, if he's healthy, he's going to get the first snaps. You'll see Cochran on the field before Bossa half the time. I would not doubt that. Like,
yeah, I think Bossa's going to mainly be special teams at first.
Cochran is about, but he loves Cochran. Find you somebody that loves you as much as Spags loves Jack Cochran.
Yeah, I think Bossa's going to have to kind of earn his play on the field. He will get some looks, and I think it just kind of depends on how he plays, how much he gets snaps on the defense. I think Bossa you're mainly going to see on special teams, but that's what we expected the minute they drafted him. We didn't expect him to come out and get a lot of defensive snaps right off the rip.
I think
but
you'll see,
he's
though,
a long play
weeks,
anyway, right?
Within a few weeks, I do think Bossa will get some decent snaps. But they could do it the same way they've been doing Leo now. Leo's been here for 3 years, and he rarely runs 50% of the defensive snaps.
It's because Leo's always been that linebacker that comes off the field when we add the extra safety, right? It's always been that way. It's always going to be that way. Now, Bossa is that tweener guy that can do both. You know what I'm saying? So maybe
so
you
may see him stay on the field in some of those situations.
It's a possibility. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. The defense is just as exciting to me as the offense. Now, I do think there are more holes on the defense. They don't exactly have the same amount of depth as the offense does, but there's a lot of youth there, and there's a lot of intriguing players. Like, to me, just seeing how they're going to use Jeffrey Bossa, seeing how they're going to use some of those guys in the defensive back room, some of those young guys, and then, of course, our new pass rushers. I'm pretty excited to see it, man.
Yeah, I don't know what Spags is going to do, but I think he'll pull out some. I mean, obviously, what we've seen so far has just been very basic during the preseason. You barely do anything. You just
Basic.
want to see guys win matchups, but I think he'll pull out some stuff for the Chargers. They'll take this game very seriously, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to lay down by any means. They want to win. This is a big division game right off the bat. I think they want to win it.
Yep. Dave says, be honest, Big Mike is the shit, and we need him back. So here's the thing, and we talked about this before. I think Big Mike has actually worked out for some other teams already. I did read something about maybe him in Arizona. I read something about that, but I kind of think that Big Mike is the guy that's going to be there if we need him. Like, to me, 34 years old, I don't really see him going and signing a contract with anybody. I kind of think he's going to be around. If Brett Veach needs him towards the end of the season, hey, buddy, what's up? And you're going to see him pop back up. I think we've seen this happen at least one other season where Big Mike came back towards the end of the season and had like the entire playoff run with us. So don't rule that out. Don't rule that out. But I don't think they have any interest on locking him in here. You know what I'm saying? They don't find him to be like a game changer where they have to keep him around. So I think they're taking their chances early, getting as many young guys as they can on the roster and kind of rolling that way. Hey, Mike.
But Mitch Holton says Mike could be coming back.
I think he could.
Sorry, I just
mean,
want to get
absolutely.
to this comment here. I was trying to find it. Justice says Gelati could win Defensive Rookie of the Year. People are big on Ashton Gelati. I really do like Gelati, but do you remember when he was picked? A lot of people thought it was a overreach. They didn't really understand it. But I think he showed everybody that if there's one thing that Gelati is going to do, he's going to be very high effort, which we kind of was saying. Like, he's going to be very high effort. He's in the vein of a Karlaftis. But he's going to have some early snaps pretty often, in my opinion. I hope Gelati can cash in because I tell you, man, Mike Dana, in my opinion, he's solid. You might see his best football in week 1 because it's the Chargers. You've mentioned this already.
He loves
There's something
it.
about the Chargers and getting after Herbert that he loves. But Gelati needs to be that guy because, and at the risk of being just completely hated by Omenihu, I want to see him do very well. And he showed flashes in that first season. There were times when Omenihu found the field that our defense kind of went up a notch. And then you seen last year, it was kind of bland when he was out there. I didn't see a lot of disruption out of him. And then this year, he's like, well, I'm going to be back. I'm healthy. I'm good. You're going to see it this year. I certainly hope I do, but we need somebody there just in case Dana is kind of just being Dana and Omenihu just can't get it together. I'd love to see Gelati be that nice option there because I don't think you really get that from Malik Herring so much. Maybe in the run game, but I don't think you get it in the pass rush game.
Right. Well, I think Gelati's an excellent fit for this defense. And I think that Gelati, to me, like you said, a lot of people didn't understand the pick. To me, it was kind of like, why in the hell did we not see this one coming? Like, that might be like the biggest draft overlook that we've probably had as a channel. Any other time, we would have sniffed that one out, right? Like, both from the Brom coaching tree, you know, like him and Karlaftis, they play similarly. He already knew Karlaftis. He already had him as a mentor before this ever took place. Like, we should have seen it coming from a mile away, right? Just plain and simple. But I think Gelati is exciting, dude. He's just like George Karlaftis, plays with a high motor, very strong, very physical, can get a lot of penetration over there on the edge. And the thing about Gelati is he's a tad bit faster than George. So he has a little bit better closing speed. So once he gets, you know, up to speed in the NFL and gets comfortable, I think that we could see a lot of similar play out of the two. And let's be honest here, people didn't expect a whole lot out of George Karlaftis. There were plenty of people that absolutely hated that pick. I mean, there were other channels that absolutely couldn't stand that pick. And then all of a sudden, he's one of our best pass rushers and the tunes changed. I think it could be the same thing with Ashton Gelati.
Yeah, I agree. I like Ashton. He should bring a lot. I'm excited to see what he does. If anything, you do know Ashton's going to give you a high motor. I mean, he's going to give you tons of effort. I can't wait to see how he, you know, what he looks like in week 1. That's what I'll say. I can't wait to see what he looks like in week 1. I think big time, if you look at week 1, I think there's a couple position groups that has to play their butts off for us to get a nice win. And I think number 1, it is the defense, or it is the offensive line. And specifically Kingsley and Josh Simmons, they have to prove that they are ready to go. Are they going to have some setbacks because he's going to go against Khalil Mack? Absolutely. But you can't have total breakdowns for like series at a time. That's what you can't have. You can't have Kingsley missing 2 or 3 in a row. You can't have Simmons missing 1 and then Kingsley missing 1. Like, you just can't do that. You can't have those drive killers. If they can prevent the drive killers, I think that our offense is good enough to put points on the board. Then when it comes to the defense, big game. It's got to be like a lot of people are saying defensive line, stop the run, stop the run. In a Spags defense, I'm telling you, 2 key positions to stopping the run. Number 1 is Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton has got to fill those gaps, and he's got to tackle well. And number 2, whoever's playing the Justin Reed of the defense, which I'm pretty sure is going to be Hicks. Those 2 have got to have a very good game. They've got to be able to tackle. They've got to be able to close down. And when Hicks comes up and gets in the box, he has to be relentless getting to the ball carrier. They have to get there and slow him down, and they can't miss many tackles there because you don't want to see a lot of guys going one-on-one with Brian Cook, and if Cook whiffs, he's going to the house. You don't want to see that very often.
Right, and I don't think you have to worry about that too much with Najee Harris, but you are going to have to worry about that home run ability from Omar and Hampton. So we definitely are going to need good tackling. And you're right. It all depends on the linebackers and sometimes the safety with our defense. That's just how Spags defense goes. I mean, honestly, we talked about run stuffers on the defensive line and stuff like that, but that's never really been the MO of this defense. It's always they're going to get a few yards. We just shut them down as far as Nick Bolton is probably one of the best run stoppers in the game. I mean, he's the anti-Derrick Henry. They held Saquon Barkley to nothing in the Super Bowl. Didn't help them. But, I mean, they know how to stop a run game from getting out of hand. Now, you wouldn't think that after watching the preseason game with the Seattle Seahawks, but that wasn't the number 1 defense, and I think they were working on a lot of different things there, so it's really hard to judge from that.
Don't break mentality with Spags in a defense, with a run defense, in my opinion. It's a lot of bend.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, for sure. Javier Sanchez. Let's go, baby.
Sanchez.
The 50 bomb.
Let's go.
Y'all throw some nukes out in the chat for Javier, some legendaries, if you will. Let's go, Javier. Appreciate you, baby. Let's go. What a legend. What a freaking legend.
We appreciate you. Appreciate you, Javier. Hey, I appreciate you,
Appreciate you. We appreciate you, Javier. Man, Mike, I just saw a comment here with Randy said the kingdom is alive, baby. It's time to get alive.
Get going.
Because the season starts this week.
Javier's fired up. He's ready to roll.
Javier's fired up, baby. Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate all you guys being here, by the way.
Everybody's a little fired up, Steve.
Yeah, get fired up. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate the donos, the gifted memberships, and all that stuff. You guys are freaking awesome. Also, would appreciate it if you hit the like button real quick. It just takes a second. It'll help get this out to more people. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't be a slapnut. Go do that. You want to do that. We're going to have a great season. It's going to be fun. Get on board, baby. Hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to join the channel, become a member of the All Chiefed Up crew, the ACU crew, hit join.allchiefedup.com. Type that up in your little bar there, and it'll take you straight to a join link. That way you don't have to search for it all over YouTube. $4.99 a month, and well worth it. We gave away a signed Mike Pennell football last night on the members-only live stream. Our boy Doug won that, so hope he enjoys it. Also, we do have some merchandise. You've probably seen at the top of the chat some of the stuff pinned, but you can also go to merch.allchiefedup.com and check out some of the merchandise there. Buy yourself something nice, look snazzy, and support your boys.
Look snazzy. You know, just be a snazzy fella.
Javier with a 50 bomb, though. What about it, Javier? Where you been at? I haven't seen no Javier in a minute. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Javier's probably ready to roll. He's ready to see some football. Everybody's ready to watch football. This just felt like I want to say it feels like a long off season, but actually it just feels like yesterday when we were doing like all the draft coverage in a way. Like it's kind of like we were just talking about all the draft picks and you know,
it actually seems like it went by kind of quick. It really does. And I think it's because it's just never ending. The way they have this offseason set up now, it's like the NFL never really stops, right? You have the Super Bowl, but then all of a sudden you have to get together for the draft. You got, you know, the combine, then the draft, and then you got the rookie mini camps and OTAs and camp and this and that and everything else, man. It's just insane. So it came around rather quick, and it couldn't have came around any faster, by the way. because after that Super Bowl, we need to redeem ourselves.
Yeah, we definitely did. Steve, you know what we got? Another 50 from Javier. He said, you know
He
what?
strikes
The
again.
first 50 was not good enough. I'm going to do dub 50s. Dub 50s. And he said, I want to say that Patrick Mahomes is the truth, and people will be reminded this season. Steve, is this an MVP season rolling in?
Been saying it. This is insane. I don't think people are ready for what Patrick Mahomes is about to do. I think they've got sleepy on Patrick Mahomes in the last couple of years, and this is going to be their wake-up call because now Patrick Mahomes has toys. He's got weapons. He's got a left tackle. He's got an offensive line that should be able to give him a little bit of protection, a little bit of time to work back there. You got all these young guys in the receiving core that run 4.2 40s. We got so much speed on this team. It's ridiculous. People talk about the Legion of Zoom all the time. This team's faster. This team's faster than the Legion of Zoom. Okay? And then I think Travis Kelce is going to want to bounce back year after last season too. So I just think Patrick Mahomes could literally go crazy this season. And it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see him go off, have a almost 5,000 yard season, 45 to 50 touchdowns, MVP. I could see it happening, dude. I know that he wants that. I know that he's fired up after the way he went out last season. He even cut the hair, brother. He cut the hair. He's serious. He's all business right now. I'm saying it's loading. I'm with Javier. Appreciate the hundo, Javier. Appreciate you. I'll put some legendaries in the chat for Javier.
We all know making that bread isn't that easy these days.
No, hell no, it's not.
Appreciate you, Javier.
Sammy with the 5 bomb says Patrick Mahomes is about to silence all the haters this season.
There we go.
Chiefs. 100%.
Sammy back with a 5 saying the same thing.
It's funny because all the Patrick Mahomes haters and all the Chiefs haters have been so smug since the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. The Chiefs are done. It's over. The refs can't save them now. And then,
so many comments in this offseason talk about how the Chiefs are just they're done.
Patrick Mahomes was exposed. He's actually not good.
What's the indication
What?
that you think this team is done? Like, I just do not get it. Like, you have to be trolling.
It's hopes and dreams, brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all it is. Yeah, for sure. And I saw where somebody had brought up Vice President J.D. Vance. He's a Bengals fan, and he literally said tongue-in-cheek that he hopes they don't rig the NFL for the Chiefs this year because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged.
Yeah.
Boy, our fans have ran with that one. They think he's being serious, I think. But I think he's just a Bengals fan, being a Bengals fan.
He's definitely a Bengals fan.
Yeah, I don't think anyone actually thinks the NFL script. I'm sure there's some people out there that think
there's
that,
a lot of people think that.
You think there's people at hardcore think it?
I think that, 100%. I do. I think there's a lot of idiots out there. But then I would ask you this. If that's the case, if your team's ever won, is your championship invalid? And if going forward this is the case, does it matter if your team wins? Like, why do you watch the NFL?
Well, yeah, because that just means the NFL decided to script your team in.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it. So, yeah, I don't know why you'd want to do that. So, it just makes no sense. If you really feel it's scripted, just quit watching.
Hey, I'm all for this script, baby. Get married at halftime. Who should be the halftime show? I don't know if they picked it already.
It was Taylor Swift. We're going to get Taylor to do it.
She's going to sing while she's getting married?
She's going to have the halftime show.
I mean, this sounds like a great plan to me. Sounds like a great plan.
Dude, do you really think the NFL has to have this, though?
Oh, yeah, they have to.
It's the biggest entity in the world. It does not need Taylor Swift to perform at the halftime show. She's going to be there anyway because Travis is going to be there.
Yeah.
Even if we don't get to the Super Bowl, Travis probably goes to the Super Bowl and watches it, and then Taylor's there anyway. So it's like they don't need this. Like, why do people think the NFL struggles so much? Believe me, they take enough money off of our YouTube for a highlight here and there that they don't need anything else.
They don't need nothing.
They're like, dude, we make billions of dollars. Did you put a highlight for 3 seconds? I'll take all your money this week. Thank you.
Man. Yeah, no, I don't know.
The script thing's a greedy corporation, okay?
The script thing's funny. But, yeah,
I don't think they need it.
No, but, I think the Chiefs have a very high chance, if they can get things rolling the way I think they can, of getting back to the Super Bowl again. And it's just going to make these haters' heads explode. I mean, they're going to come out even... The more the Chiefs win, the more they're going to keep pushing some kind of narrative that they're cheating or this or that.
Every time. Look, if the Chiefs win week 1, they're going to... Look, the very first play... Or the very first play that's kind of iffy, or the first time Herbert throws a pass and it gets called back for holding, or just anything. Patrick Mahomes gets called, for a late hit, they hit Mahomes. No matter how legit it is, they're going to cry, and it's going to go up, and people are going to start it instantly. You're never getting rid of it. And the funny thing is the Patriots already went through this. Their fans have already been through this.
The Patriots actually cheated, though.
But Patriots fans are on.
That's the sad part.
Right.
You want to give the Chiefs the Patriots treatment, but they haven't even deserved it yet. You're just calling BS, on some calls or something.
But again, you'll see tons of Patriots fans talking about how the league's rigged, and it's like, you guys went through this, and now you're going to say it now because you can't win. It doesn't make sense. People are just weird.
Yeah,
They're just complainers and weird.
I mean, we had to deal with a bunch of crap, right? I mean, if you go back to, I think it was a playoff game. It was the Titans. It was the Derek Johnson forward progress call against Marcus Mariota, and then the weird pass to himself and all that weird stuff. We had to deal with dumb stuff, and then we had that year where we had the 2-point conversion to tie the Steelers in the playoffs, and they called the hold on Eric Fisher. And it's
look at just what happened. Was last year or the year before when MVS got tackled in the Packers game and nobody said a word, and then the whole Kadarius Toney toe over the line? Guess what? They wouldn't have called it if they had preferential treatment for the Chiefs. They would have just let Kadarius Toney have his toe over the line, because guess what? Probably shouldn't have been called in the first place.
Right. I mean, it just is what it is. Like I said, the Chiefs have faced that kind of stuff in critical games before. So, I mean, it's, but that was before Taylor Swift, right?
Not worried about it.
That was before that guy, Rye, with the 10 bomb says, I thought we let Nottie go because he outplayed his salary for the Chiefs, and now he can barely make a roster within 2 months of 2025. Yeah, no, I don't think that had anything to do with it, actually. I don't think it had anything to do with outplayed his salary. I just think they didn't want him. I didn't think
me too. They were moving on.
Let's be honest, man. I like Derek Nottie as much as the next guy. We've heard he's the funniest guy in the locker room.
Yeah,
so I mean, the guy's
he's been a bust basically.
But he's not great. He's serviceable, I guess is the way you would put it. There's lots of other guys that can contribute as much as him. I just think they were ready to move on, and then they found out, well, we might have to revert here, and they do it all the time. They did the same thing with McCole Hardman. They didn't want McCole Hardman. But when the shit hit the fan, it was like, oh no, we better do something. And I think it's just the safe play. It's like, this guy's familiar already. People like him. We'll just bring him back, right?
See, Derek Nottie was drafted in the 3rd round for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
he was a 3rd round pick. So he's basically the same as Ashton Gelati. If you mean to tell me that by the end of his, first 5-6 seasons in Kansas City, Gelati has pedestrian numbers and the amount of impact that Derek Nottie has had, people are going to be roasting Gelati.
Right.
For some reason, Derek Nottie's kind of got a little bit of a pass. McCole Hardman was allowed a little bit of a pass. He didn't really play up to a 2nd-round pick either, but he got a lot of a pass. People just tend to like some of these guys. They don't want to let them go. It's the nostalgia. But, I mean, honestly, I think Derek Nottie's kind of been well under expectations here.
Yeah, I don't think he's been lived up to a 3rd-round pick.
He's been outplayed by Mike Pennell every single season. That's the reason we've had to put Pennell on the roster every year. And then this year, magically, Pennell's just not as good.
And Derek Nottie is, even though we've had to go out. So here's the thing, though. First of all, I would like to go back to the 2018 draft. This guy right here, I predicted half or over half of the Chiefs draft that year.
Appreciate the tip, my brother.
I picked Derek Nottie. I picked Dorian O'Daniel. I picked Armani Watts and Tremont Smith in that draft.
Yeah, you hit 4
I hit
that draft.
4. It was insane. That's the best I've ever done. But that draft did kind of suck because Breland Speaks was our first pick in that draft.
That was horrible. Look
then
at
we got
every
Derek
one of those
Nottie,
picks.
Dorian O'Daniel bust, Armani Watts bust. I mean, if you can even call him a bust. Tremont Smith, they had high hopes for him. Nothing. And then they drafted, I think, Khalil McKenzie, an offensive guard who never did anything.
Right. Steve, Armani Watts might have been the best player out of that draft.
Yeah, it's insane. And you know what's funny? That was the first draft after we got Mahomes. So, we followed up the best draft move of all time with that draft. It's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. But, hey, I think Derek Nottie outplayed Breland Speaks. So, at least we can give him that, right? Derek Nottie did better as a 3rd rounder than he did as a 2nd rounder.
Right. Duncan says McCole Hardman didn't get a pass. Didn't they draft him instead? Yeah, they did. That's why he got a pass
Dude.
here. Because ultimately,
Sheesh.
it was a huge whiff by Brett Veach. Like, he will admit it to this day.
Huge.
But yet, fans love McCole Hardman. There were people trying to get McCole Hardman back just this week. Like, what? Can we
It's
just let
like,
it go?
nah, bro. He's on the Packers. He's on the practice
fans give
squad.
him a pass. That's what I say. Like, the fans love McCole Hardman. And I don't have nothing against McCole Hardman. It's just that if he is what we were considered a number 1, number 2, or number 3 option, then this cat can't even make a team. He couldn't make the Jets team. We traded for him. He couldn't make the Packers team. Like, there's none of our guys, when Mahomes won the MVP in 2022, made a roster this season.
I mean, think
every
about
one of them
that.
got booted.
Think about that. McCole Hardman drafted in the second round. We traded up to draft McCole Hardman in front of DK Metcalf, and this guy can't make a roster. He's on a
He can't make
practice
a roster.
squad.
It's not like he's old and washed. Like,
He's
he
on
should
a
be in the
practice
prime of his
squad.
career.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. That was a bad pick. Bad
wild.
pick. Yeah, I'm just going to chalk that up to they were scared about Tyreek Hill being in trouble, and they thought they needed someone fast or something. But I don't get that either because DK ran a 4.3, so I don't know. There's no justifying that. When Brett Veach knows he did bad, he knows he did wrong.
Kyle said he'd take Justin Watson over McCole Hardman. And Justin Watson made a roster. He made
Yeah.
the Texans roster. He's
Yeah.
the only ex-wide receiver that was out there that actually made a team.
But I mean, let's be honest here. McCole Hardman, every once in a while you'd hit a deep ball with McCole Hardman or something like that. But for the most part, he's literally just a little gadget guy, and that's it.
He had
Like
a
at
good
least
rookie season, and
Yeah.
then he kind of lived off that. And then, like you said, he had some special teams moments. He had some big moments. He caught a Super
he's
Bowl
had some
winning
bad
touchdown,
moments in special
whatever.
teams too, though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's had his share, but again, not a second-round pick over DK. Come on.
Josh Plamone says, "Could we sign Gabe Davis?" Nah.
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis. Did I say it backwards?
Gabe
Well, either way,
Davis.
here's my thing.
That's his alternate ego.
So a lot of people like that. I've never been a fan of that guy. I think like he kind of was a flash in the pan at Buffalo, but I mean, to me, he's just MVS type. That's it.
He does feel like an MVS part 2.
Yeah, like he doesn't have very good hands. He's kind of tall. You can maybe hit him for some deep passes.
I
here
think
and there.
Thornton kind of fills that role. I don't know why you would need.
Yeah, and I think Thornton, to me, is more exciting than either of those two players.
Thornton fills the role of the MVS. He fills the role that Justin Watson was basically doing last year, because Justin Watson was trying to do the entire MVS role last year. And I think our receiving corps is well more rounded. It's a better
Yeah.
group front to back. And I think even if you let Nico Remigio play some snaps, he's going to be able to do things. Nico Remigio is pretty good versus the zone. Now,
Right.
man-to-man coverage might be a different story, but I think he could eat a zone.
Yeah, for sure. JCP in the house.
Let the boy watch.
Let's go, baby. Yeah, man, I'm excited about Tyquan Thornton, honestly. Like, he could, you can be expecting too much from him, absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, I just, like, if you think back to his college tape and what he offered, and then the fact that the Patriots, like, went up in the draft to get him. Like, they wanted him, but they just had nothing. They had nothing going on in that offense. Like, it was almost, he was dead in the water as soon as he got
Didn't they
drafted.
trade us to come get him?
Yeah, I think
And then we
so.
traded back and took Sky Moore.
Is
And
that
then
what
in
happened? Is that what happened
Yeah.
there?
And then in the middle of it, I think, was the whole Steelers taking Pickens.
Yeah. Which is strange that
I just don't think I don't think Pickens was ever on the Chiefs' radar because of something. I don't know if it's off-field issues or just something, but I just do not think he was ever there. Like, a lot of fans had him just penciled in the whole year that was our guy. I just don't think we was ever looking at him.
Yeah, probably not. Pepe says Patriots fans say he's good until it's a real game. I've seen that
I mean,
a lot.
That's possible.
I have seen that a lot. And here's what I'll say is the Patriots, maybe because they never played a good real game with him on the team. I mean, let's be honest here. That team was ass. Like, they're not good. Now, I think this year the Patriots are swinging back in the right direction. Going to get Mike Vrabel was a huge step for them. And then now they're kind of building a little bit. They'll be back. They'll be back and competitive, but I think he was dead in the water as soon as he got drafted to them. There just was nothing going on. Shout out that guy Rye with another 5 bomb, says, I must be thinking of Saunders. Good take, fellas.
Oh, okay. Colin Saunders.
Yeah.
Colin Saunders just got traded just a few weeks ago. I don't remember where he ended up going, but
Yeah, he was with
Saints
the
traded
Saints,
him.
right? Where did he go? Let me look it up.
I don't remember, but he did get traded.
He probably
Colin
went to
Saunders
Buffalo.
wouldn't have been a bad. Like, honestly, I would have much rather seen us made a trade for Colin Saunders.
He went to
than making
Jacksonville.
Right. I would have rather them made a trade for Colin Saunders and give up what Jacksonville did than to do what we did with Derek Nottie.
Nah, I'm okay.
Because at least Colin Saunders is athletic enough to rush the passer as well. Derek Nottie's kind of. Come on now, Binky's a lot better.
Nah. We don't need nothing about that over here.
You're wild to think that he's not a better football player than Derek Nottie.
Just in general, I think he's soft. I think he's.
You're never going to let that go, are you?
He's soft, man. He's very, very soft.
He will punch you in the face.
I don't care.
And
I
you
didn't say
defend
I could.
soft.
I didn't say I could be harder than him. I never. That was never said. But I will just say,
Dude,
I don't want nothing to do with Binky over here no more.
I think he would have been much better than Derek Nottie.
Maybe.
But again, I don't know if he offers as much in that clogging up double and triple team. I don't know. Nottie's not the greatest with it anyway. So it is what it is. We're going to see.
They're one in the same. I feel like they're one in the same, except for Derek Nottie. It seems just like, I don't know, a better person.
You're
Can I
never
say that?
getting over the fact that Binky cried because you said they didn't play hard enough versus the Bengals, and he cried and said, we played our heart out, but they didn't. They played like ass. Like, let's be legit.
I mean, that's part of it, but I mean, literally, he's so focused on dumb stuff outside of football and everything. It's like, I don't just no. We don't need that. We don't need that sideshow over here. Let him go to Jacksonville. I'll take Derek Nottie, the quiet guy that just comes in and does his job.
Okay. I hope it works out for him.
That's just me. That's just me. Yeah, young native. No Micah Parsons for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving game just got a little bit easier, guys. That stinks. Poor Dallas fans. They can't win for losing. You know it?
What do you think they thought when you lose Micah Parsons? Then Jerry Jones tries to tell you that this was the plan all along, and they're much better now. And then they turn around and give Deron Bland like $100 million contract. What?
That's pretty wild. But I have seen a lot of stuff after the Micah Parsons trade. I think Matt Verderam even wrote about this in Sports Illustrated, but some of the AFC defensive coordinators, I think, or coaches, there were a lot of coaches, there were a lot of players in his own locker room that just did not like him. They said that he was a crybaby, he was a diva, he wasn't a team player, and they never had it in the cards to pay him because no one wanted him there. And they were like, just go listen to one of his podcast episodes, and you'll realize no one wanted him. So I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, I'm pretty sure Micah Parsons I don't know a whole lot, so I don't have an opinion, but I have seen clips from his podcast where he's literally talked about how he would rather play for other teams because his team sucks. He's talked about all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean, that's not the type of guy you want really leading your locker room now, is it?
Well, I mean, he did play for Dallas, so he's only telling
I
the truth.
understand, but you're not allowed to say that. If you're going to be a leader in the locker room, you can't just say it. You can think it all you want, but you gotta at least fake it.
Did you think it was wild, though, that, like, okay, look, he had signed a 4-year, $17 million deal. Okay, he had a $10 million signing bonus, and he was guaranteed $17 million when he first signed his contract. Guaranteed at signing, $17 million. So that was a fully guaranteed contract that Micah Parsons got as a rookie. So basically $17 million, he got $10 million of it up front. Now, look, he definitely wanted that $200 million. Do you find it wild that, like, 4 years, and now he was like, I can finally retire my mom. She don't have to work. Wait, she couldn't stop working for $17 million? $10 million guaranteed? Like, you couldn't let the lady take off work for that because you had to go get cars and bling? Like,
No,
what?
brother. No, he had to buy groceries for 2 weeks. He didn't have anything left.
Bro, if you made $2 million or $3 million, you couldn't retire your 60-year-old mom at that point. I think I would have still just been hungry and living life, driving in a beater back and forth to practice. But I think my mom would have got the majority of the money.
Well, once you get that much money, you live on a different planet than everybody else, you know?
I guess, but I think it's wild. Like, you had to hit a $250 million contract before your mom could be retired. Like, $20 million wasn't good enough.
What are we doing
What?
with our lives? What are we doing here?
Come over here, Mike. Come over here and throw us a $17 million super chat. See if we can
do
retire
it.
our people. We'll try it.
We'll try it.
I'll try it. I mean, no guarantees, but I'll try it.
That's pretty crazy.
What's he thinking, bro?
I appreciate all y'all being here tonight. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being lively in the chat. Thanks for all the donos and everything like that. We're going to be here for a little while longer tonight. If you have any questions you'd like us to answer, throw them in the chat. We'll try to get to a few. Do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the drill. But yeah, man, what you think, Mike? What you think about the whole thing? If there's anything that you're like, let's say, are you worried about anything going into this first matchup of the season? Like, now that the season's here, you kind of see how we're standing as far as the roster goes. You know what injuries we got. You know what suspensions we got. Are you worried about anything? Are you just ready to go? You think we're good to go?
I think the Chiefs are in a good position. I think offensively, I think we're solid. Like, I do not see how the Chargers should be able to stop us from putting points on the board. Now, it's a very good possibility we stop ourselves. So if we start having, like I said, the left side of the offensive line can't get together, or we've got another year 3 of Jawan Taylor drive killing everything over here, or we're dropping balls, or just whatever else under the sun. Maybe Mahomes gets, gun shy a little bit, or we're calling stupid plays, or just whatever. Like, we could do it to ourselves, but I don't think the Chargers should be able to stop us from moving the ball and putting points up. Defensively, the only thing that does give me a slight concern is maybe our DB room, because, again, Quentin Johnson, Keandre Lambert-Smith, Trey Harris, those 3 guys can extend the field. And if they get one-on-one matchups with guys like Chamari Connor, for example, Chamari Connor cannot run with these cats. He's not going to be able to do it. We've seen him get beat on drag routes across the field 24/7. I don't think Roland Wallace can run with him. There's very few. And so Josh Williams is going to have to play more. He's going to have to look pretty good if he gets out there. And then is our boy that we paid money to in the offseason, he's going to be ready to go because he is going to play his own team right now. Yeah, Fulton's going to be going up against his own guy.
I think he'd be horned up to get out there and play good.
Yeah, I do too. But I do think those corners beyond McDuffie, corner safety room is going to have to come into play because the Chargers, the way they're built, they could take advantage of our weak safety room.
Yeah, they could. They're going to try, I'm sure. But we'll see. Duncan Idaho says, is Hollywood playing? Yes, he is. They confirmed that today. He's ready to roll.
Says.
He's ready to roll. I think they're going to rely a little bit on him. Obviously, Xavier Worthy's going to be like your number 1 target as far as receiver goes right now until Rashee Rice can get back. But I think they are going to expect a lot out of Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster in this first week.
Who do you think gets the most targets week 1?
Xavier Worthy.
You think he goes over Kelsey?
Well, if we're throwing Kelsey in the mix, they'll probably be pretty even, I'd say. More than likely.
I think Kelsey will get about 7 or 8 targets, and I actually think Xavier Worthy will get probably like 7 or 8 as well. I'm right there with you.
Yep. Gary, Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco is going to be your one unless...
I think he'll start, yeah.
Unless of injury or anything like that going forward, he'll be the one all season. I think Pacheco could have a monster year. You have to remember, he is on a contract year, and he looks ready to roll. He looks more like himself. Coming back off that injury last year, he looked a little skittish. He looked a little slower than usual, a little hesitant. But we saw in the preseason that that's all gone. He's right back to him. He almost broke his neck on the wall, So this guy's going to be on balls to the wall
Kareem
this
Hunt
season.
is also back to practice. There's nothing with him anymore at this point. And today was basically a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they're gonna travel. They'll have to travel out of Brazil on like Wednesday, I think. So
yeah,
they probably got 2 more practices and they're ready to go.
Got a 5 bomb from Joshua Vasquez. Says, super pumped for the season. Patty going to come out chugging ball so deep into the Chargers' ass. I love it, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go. That's right, Joshua. He is going to.
I just now noticed that this hoodie I'm wearing is the exact color almost of the Super
Mike,
Chat.
you like them Super Chats so much, you got the shirt color.
It's like I'm just trying to blend in with it. Like if I just...
Come on, guys. Give more 5 bombs so I can match the screen. Let's freaking go. Yeah, dude, I'm super pumped too, Joshua. I think that Mahomes is going to come out slinging it this year. We talked. They wanted to do that last season, like push the ball down the field, and then it never come to fruition. I think this year he's going to sling it. I think he has to, and I think Gardner Minshew has probably already challenged him to where it's like, hey, just throw it, just throw the damn ball.
Yeah,
Patrick.
you're probably right.
Who's signing Jabril Peppers? No clue. But I don't know if, I'm sure. I'm sure that Brett and crew have thought about it. I'm sure they've thought about Justin Simmons. I'm sure they thought about a couple different vets in that position, but they were okay with letting Mike Edwards go and go to the practice squad. So I think if they need to rely on a vet, they might just go that route. Like if they decide, hey, we need to pull Mike back in here because he's got more experience than these other guys, and I think that's the route they'll go. But they do have some salary cap to play with, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I think this close to the first game of the season, I just don't know if you would see that just yet. Shout out Valerie with the 10 bomb. Appreciate you, Valerie. You're freaking awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Brian says there's 310 people in here and 100 likes. There's 405 total.
Get it going.
Hit that like button, baby. Hit that like button. Yeah.
No, there's a report that came out today that said that somebody from ESPN said that there was a trade on the table for Jabril Peppers, or somebody had reached out to the Patriots.
I thought they just cut him.
They did, but there was a trade on the table and they couldn't get it done.
Oh.
Actually, the trade was rumored in early August, but it doesn't say who the team was that was trying to get to him.
There's no telling, dude. Mike,
Right,
I'm horned
trying to
up,
get-
baby. It's football season. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah, it's
Let's
pretty
go.
wild, dude.
Let's
I'm ready to
go.
roll.
It's
This is-
officially the first week of the season, baby.
It's gonna be a wild week, especially for content too. Like we're gonna have
it's
video.
going to be. Yeah.
Oh my God, calm down. What's
God,
wrong
why are
with
you-
you right now?
Fun, please.
Chill out.
Fun,
Jeez
please.
Louise, you scared me. Like I didn't know what was happening.
Fun,
Plus,
please.
somebody was jamming behind
Everybody
me.
else was having fun, Mike, and you just shut it off.
Wild. What just happened right now? I have no idea what just happened. Just straight up scared to death of everything. Like what in the
Brenda with the
actual
10
hell?
bomb, baby. Brenda was having fun.
Should we do that? Like we're gonna play this. We're gonna jam out play this music until we get the 200 likes. Go hit the like button if you want it off.
Mike, Julia said you're a Debbie Downer. Appreciate the 10 bomb, Brenda.
Sorry, I just didn't know what was happening.
You're supposed to get in on the fun, buddy.
Hey,
You're supposed to get in on the fun. You left
Shazam
me
wants to
hanging.
know- Shazam wants it to have a hot take for the season. You have a hot take?
Do I have a hot take? That's a tough one right off the bat. Like, I don't know. Let me think about it for a minute. Do you have one?
Steve, nobody cares about that hot take.
Yeah.
Just Jamie.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
It's
give you a
football
hot
season,
take.
baby.
Here's a hot take. I'll give
Get
you
him
one.
going. Let's go.
Here's a hot take. I'm gonna give you a hot take. Come here. Patrick Mahomes is gonna go freaking crazy this season. Have
Yeah.
at least 50 touchdowns. This could be by his bye week. Okay, that's how crazy he's gonna go. Xavier Worthy is about to pop off for something you've never seen.
Woo-hoo,
in
start
history. I think
go.
he's gonna have 1,500 yards probably by week 12. That's how good Xavier Worthy's gonna be. And you know what? We're probably going undefeated this year. So mark it down in your little books and tell everybody that you know that the Chiefs are back and we're not going anywhere. Suck it.
Let's freaking go, baby.
That was probably what my hot take was. Xavier Worthy's going to have 1,500 yards by week 12.
My hot take is Rashee Rice is going to be suspended for 6 games, and he's still going to go for 1,000 yards
yeah,
receiving.
easily.
That's my hot take. He's going to go
Easily.
nuts. Heck yeah, baby. Hey, it's football season. Did you know that? It starts this week, brother.
Dude, I'm ready to roll with it. That's what I'm ready to do.
You should be. Everybody else is happy. I think everybody else is happy.
Do you
Everybody's
think,
horned up, baby.
do you
It's like they
think the
ate a whole
Chargers-
bag of Blue Chew.
you think this is going to be a game for the Chargers? Like, you think they'll even be in it? Like, do you think they'll keep it close? This is going to be like a Butker game. Are we going to go back to the Butkers?
No, baby.
sorry,
we ain't going to
Pepe.
rely on Bucker. Pepe, I'm sorry. It had to happen, though. It had to happen.
I had headphones on. That was loud. I have headphones on, and it was pretty loud too.
It was pretty
actually.
loud.
It was
It's
blaring.
loud. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It needed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we wanted to round up this show, It's been a fun one. So I figured we'd end it with a little part. Hey, it's football season. Get horned, says Captain Freedom. His name is literally Captain Freedom. So you have to do what he says.
Yeah, you must.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be back with plenty of content. Our podcast will come out on Tuesday, which you'll have the video pod on YouTube. Then we'll have a video on Wednesday and maybe Thursday. Thursday night, we'll be doing the live stream, which is the pre-game, the tailgate, baby. We're going to be tailgating. That day, we'll talk more about the matchup. I don't know why I started stuttering. Today, Junior. We'll talk more about the matchup, and we'll also give some predictions and things like that. So make sure to write down your predictions because we're going to ask for them on Thursday night.
Right.
So, Mike, get your big pencil out right now.
I don't have it with me.
What? You lost the big pencil?
I didn't lose it. It just got put up during the flood. I've got to find the big pencil.
No. Of all things to go down during the flood, the big giant pencil went.
The big giant. It was floating down the road. Someone's seen it. They were like, "There's a giant pencil floating." I'll find it.
Oh man. Let's see. Real quick.
Somewhere.
Thoughts on Brady's restrictions lifted? I don't know. I think they should have probably kept it where it was at. It's a little sketch. It's a little sketch that he's an owner and he's going to be allowed to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
What's he get to do? He gets to come in and play at half. Like he'll just put the uniform.
No, he's an
on.
owner, but he can also, like, I think the caveat there was he wasn't allowed to visit like other teams and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It's something weird, but they basically lifted all restrictions and are like, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter your Tom Brady.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And then Duncan says, you guys have an opinion on these overseas games? I think they're a good idea. I think if you're a true Chiefs fan, you just have that same like love for the game that Lamar Hunt did. And I think his vision was to see it worldwide and like just massive thing. And I think that that's what he would want. So I'm okay with it. Let's make it a global thing.
It's tough traveling.
It's tough traveling, but I'm okay with it being a global thing. Like, I think that that's kind of cool that they're trying to.
At least the Chiefs are relevant enough that they want to use us to do it. Because we could just suck so bad that we would just be like, meh.
Yep. Joshua Vasquez with another 5 bombs says, I'm heading to the Super Bowl rematch. Are y'all going to go to the game this season? I don't know. We haven't exactly have one planned. Super excited for that game, by the way. I think week 2 is going to be really
I'm going to try to get out there this year, though.
We're going to try. We don't have anything set, but we'll probably try to look at it and see what we can come up with. The money, the travel time, and all that stuff, it just gets a little weird for us sometimes. But
it works
we'll see if we can make it work.
Trying to create content as well, because you put in all the travel days and everything. It's tough. So
yeah, you gotta make it. You gotta plan it all out just right. Pepe says, "Mike, keep that big pencil where it belongs, buddy."
Yeah,
you're acting like he's Chris Jones or something.
I'll find it. It's somewhere around here. I mean, it's so big, I'll trip over it somewhere. Just like Chris.
Just like Chris. Well, appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Also, be on the lookout for content coming. I just told you the schedule, but if you forgot, we'll have our podcast and video podcast out on Tuesday, video drop on Wednesday, possibly Thursday as well. Thursday night, we'll be back live with the tailgate for the first game of the season.
Action-packed week.
Let's freaking go, baby. So get horned, eat all your Blue Chew, put on your Chiefs gear, and just have a little party with yourself. Let's freaking go. See you next time.
Get wild.